evening, guys. It's 4:20ish, and by now I feel everyone got a good amount of framework, understanding, knowledge, and good sessions, although. So before diving into why, how, what of decision making, I would rather, first take a couple of 2 minutes to give a huge round of applause for all the speakers whom I heard from today morning till now. A lot of people discussed about frameworks where I understood that yes, still we believe frameworks should be there. So since I said that we all are almost loaded now, maybe I feel a bit boring. So I have divided the screen in two parts. Everyone who are interested to listen to me, look at the right side. If you are not interested, left side will give you good tidbits of Aditya Birla Group, my group. Generally, we don't Google Aditya Birla Group what you get and not. So you can get very good insights. You can just see that. But if you are good with me, good, then 30 minutes with me from now onwards talking about decision-making frameworks. So first and foremost, why framework? Before talking about data, talking about decisions, we are creating framework. Why? We will talk about why of it first. And I attempted that since we nowadays deep dive in a lot of data management, data cleaning, data gathering, data acquisitions, we should think of first two questions is, what is it we do versus what is it we should do? Second, I will give a customer perspective, mostly B2B sector here, how well we are managing the data versus how well the customer thinks we are managing it. I think there is a gap which should be addressed. Else, getting data from customer or client side will be a challenge. It is completely my perspective, which I am just discussing here, that till date, in most of the waterfall cases, we believe framework making is a mandate, not an intent. So before talking and delving more deep dive, we should understand that we have to define the value of data first. We have to define the value of data to the stakeholders from whom you are actually getting those data. Because data, when converted in a proper manner, becomes a knowledge and can give you great accomplishment that we all agree to in this room. Another thing which I think everyone till now was talking is culture change, be it the diversity, be it understanding, be it making waterfall to agile, create culture change where change becomes a part of job, not a mandate. So I'll talk about more that how Aditya Birla Group did. And I'll talk about the central team where I was earlier, the Central Group Data and Analytics team. First and foremost, I would also thank AIM team and the ABG Group Data Analytics team for having me here. So Aditya Birla Group in 2017-ish around, they have set up a central innovation cell where they thought of that, they will work along with all the Aditya Birla Group businesses to talk about the IT, security perspective, data and analytics. And that's how group data analytics were set up. Initially, when the team started running to all the businesses to talk about that, to gather data, to talk about the insights, what solution you can provide through those data, there were challenges. A lot of challenges we will discuss going forward. There, they found out that, if you want to do something around with any of the, businesses on the floor, then you need to have majorly 3 work streams. One should be giving the solution, understanding the problem of business first. problem could be, which I also, once saw, that a person standing and just looking into a textile material continuously to find that is there any stitching fault. That can be a problem of video analytics. So before delving into everything around, first sit with the business or your customer to talk about what is the problem in their terms. After understanding their problem, then we can start thinking about the consulting bit, thinking about getting a solution either in a data and analytics format or in simple IT format, or we can get external partners. So in that way, the 3 work streams are there. One is the consulting bit, which we called out projects, which started initial 9 to 18 months. Then it moved, and then when we found out what is the solution, we started doing it in bits and pieces, maybe in one small plant, maybe with one very small team. Once successful, the stakeholder is believing you, we thought of scaling it up. Now when the scale-up plan is happening, which is the platform, we realize that the bandwidth and the team is pretty small. We will not have the entire bandwidth of scaling for one ABG business, and ABG has, trust me, 50 plus organizations. So then we thought that why not get the external ecosystem within, get the startups, the big techs, the innovation cell of the institutions to help on the scale up. When we were doing the scale up, we understood that the manufacturing sectors, which are pretty in the, we call it villages in India, like a Renukot or a Sambalpur or Gumnipundi. There we definitely have lack of capabilities. We will have. We started training those people. We found a lot of intent when we actually understood their problem, got a solution for them, and then started training them. And the entire digital PMO team supported the project and ops team for the implementation, governance, creating the framework, and also getting the partners around, the innovation teams around, and setting the process correct. So today, first half, one of my colleagues, Savita, spoke about our 10 working principles. It is kind of a commandment or a guidebook now within ABG, which evolved when we understood, and it's a Google fact, that 68% of the data teams actually find difficulty in extracting data from the customer or stakeholders because problem is not defined properly. In fact, there are certain more discussions, and we have experienced that data stay in silos, data not there. In fact, there are a lot of challenges which I said we face, like data source variability. Where is the data? It can be in the DCS, it can be in the sensors, it can be in the ERP system, it can be in the Excel sheet, it can be in the logbook, it can be handwritten on your registered as well. So how to extract all the data? Are all the data good data which you want to analyze? How you are differentiating those? Those are one of the challenges, one of the challenges which we faced. Apart from that, we also face the data quality. Definitely no uniform data at all. In fact, many analysis problems got seized because the data were dirty. So how to clean data? And I would rather say that our team will not be ever responsible for doing it because we never go to plant every day. So how you teach those plant people to actually prepare clean data? That is where you start your stakeholder believing on your solution. Then accuracy, large data volume. Now you have an HMI SCADA every day, 24/7 it is running. You will get large data. What we will do with that data? Is it a clean data? Integration is another challenge. So a lot of challenges we faced while we started then defining that what is our objectives. Maybe there are 20 problems in the plant. or 20 problems within your stakeholder, may not be blunt. Among them, what we want to solve, what are our objectives to solve. So somewhere we have started cutting down those noise. Then we have started identifying the data sources. For example, initially we started identifying that if the data is in your ERP or in your DCS, then it is easily retrievable. If it is in your logbook or register, then we will take some time. We have started creating those timelines and making people understand that everything will not happen in 1 month. And then we started refining it, analyzing it, and then kind of concluding and acting upon it. So those conclude, act, and getting insights for decision making, I think that phase is easier rather than actually getting the data and working on that. So my point of representing these challenges and talking more about is that before going on acting, I think we should first delve on how to get the engineering running back end every time, where your stakeholder will help you to get the data rather than you fighting for that. So this is actually the 10 commandments, which my colleague spoke also today morning, and I think now we have made it like 10 working principles of ABG. Because while we were working, and I'll dig deep into this, so while we were working with all our business stakeholders and trying to provide analytics solution to them, we found that apart from providing only analytics solution, a lot of touch points we have created which are important, and we can't stop any of those touch points going forward as well. The first touch point which we understood is the long-term strategy and roadmap. What is your customer's long-term strategy? Did your project is aligning with that? Or whatever solution you are preparing, that is helping them out in the strategy. If not, framework will not work. Leadership forums. So internally within ABG, we have created a lot of leadership forums, be it one-on-one sessions, be it interactive sessions, asking them that how they look, what is their perspective about innovation, and how they resonate that innovation is required in their team. So trying to get their versions of we need it rather than forcing that have to do it. The AI maturity. So within ABG, there is a lot of businesses around. All the businesses are not same. All the global organizations are there. Overseas operations happen. Overseas plants are there. Their IoT systems are much ahead than the Indian plants. That is obvious, right? So how the AI maturity is for an individual plant, for an individual team, for the organizations, you can start cutting, like slicing and dicing those questions around. And those are the drivers actually. Then we boil down to the operating model, which is mostly the culture change. In culture change, we started with organizational stewardship. So being an internal team, it is more difficult changing the organizational structure or getting into it, because you will always start getting one sentence that right? You know how it is. It is what it is. But then how these self-managed pods can be developed within business, within the customer, that they run your solution day-to-day basis rather than you pushing. That is one, major point which we started harping, I think 3 years back. And today we have done a lot of stewardship, businesses have developed their internal DNA team. In fact, I'll give you an example. 15 years back, and it's a Google thing, 15 years back if you search, there will be no HR team in any manufacturing units or in any legacy businesses, because never people believed that there should be an HR. Today, I don't think there will be any organization without HR. Same. Today, you may not have data team or an analytics team or an insights team, whatever you call it out, in every organization or legacy businesses. But maybe in another 2-3 years, since we are moving very fast and GenAI is the talk of the town, maybe in next 1 year, you will find everyone having a team of that sort. So then and I spoke about it, that, you know, developing talent and capability within the team, within the business team. Actually, you know, creating their person who will say, we will go back and say the users that, see, if you are not doing it, then you are not actually getting a good insights, then your competitor will move forward than you. So rather than believing the external team, for example, us, they will believe their internal you know, analytics team. We have tried to get the sponsors, funding. Who will fund? Who will sponsor it? Why the person will sponsor it? For example, if a CFO of a very age-old legacy business, he says that, why I will sponsor an analytics which says that, who just looks into the, you know, language processing, it's a language processing project of customers. Why I will fund it? What is the impact? The impact is that if you get 20 negative comments, then you can understand that people is not buying your insurance. People is buying insurance from somewhere else. So those insights, how you are tying it back to that matrix, which is either a revenue or a EBITDA or a cash flow generation or, you know, market cap, top line, bottom line, I think you have to convert it to impact. Until and unless your stakeholder sees value in your solution, the framework is useless. And I spoke about the ecosystem and partnerships, which is more about, you know, getting the external ecosystem where the solution is already there. Get it. Let us do a plug and play. Why to develop internally? Why we need a, okay, I'm not supporting here, you know, cost cutting, job cutting and all of that. But if there is a startup, you know it, that provided a solution, get them on board. You are doing it in 6 months. If you get a hiring, getting 20 people more, do it in 1 month. Promote a startup. And that's how the partnership grows, right? So we got a lot of, you know, startups, not only startup, we actually worked a lot with the team, big techs. We are working with Databricks, we are working with Microsoft, and I'm just naming a few, there are many. And then we had the tools, we had the analytics projects, which is part of doing, which is the last, in that flowchart, which is the last one, which is like conclude and act. Once you have set your drivers correct, then you drive your train. I think it will reach your station. But yeah, you have to do that correct. Else, only with the tool, only with the architecture and infra, it may run for a year, but it will somewhere, you know, it will get dropped. And definitely, wherever, you know, we provide a solution, we feel like, you know, we have just delivered a baby. We never wanted to be getting dropped, right? So for that, the framework we are following, you can have your own. In fact, actually, I thought of doing it. So this is something which I thought that you all can think that, you know, what are the drivers for your team? You can use it for yourself, for your team. You can create your own, but the questions will remain same. Do you understand where your customer stands on data? This is a very important and evident question. Or, you know, how many latest tech in the market you have introduced to your customers? If you are not doing it, trust me, they will go as a vendor and they will pitch it separately. And then you have another problem of integrating another solution into your system. So in ABG, we have like 14 sectors, almost 50 plus organizations overseas, 60 plus plants around, where we have actually, you know, started checking those boxes first before providing any of the solutions. So this is the framework which we were talking, and this is my coordinates. I do have 10 minutes. I completed in 20 minutes, only giving you the insight and a very basic framework. I would love people asking me questions and answering on this. Okay, I see someone.
Hi, thank you. It's a great session. Very good insights. So I'm a program manager at Cloudera, and like you mentioned about data sources variability, how did you deal with that? Because that is something that we as a company are facing, because we are not at that level as a Databricks or Microsoft or Google. So every day we struggle with the different sources of data that we have, because we are partner facing, and the other teams which are basically like support or engineering, they have different sources of data. So when we look at the metrics which we need to present to the leadership, sometimes it is skewed because of the data sources variability. So I would love to hear a little bit more on that.
Cool. So one, that what you said, the data sources are different. There might be, and with your engineering team and others, maybe there are Excel sheets someone is using, maybe there are some platform, where they are entering the data. And then there will be some ERP systems having the data as well, right? So we have an internal process. We started an internal process which we call it internal quality audit, which is IQA. And we started using one platform internally, saying that everyone has to enter the data here before we start analyzing those data. It is difficult when you impose certain platform to an entire team, and trust, we struggled 3 years, we are still struggling somewhere or the other, but it improved as well. Another challenge which I would rather like to hear, again clarify, there are two data sources we faced. One is that the soft data, which is already there in your Excel sheet or in a platform. But we do have manual data as well. We have, registers and logbooks in plant. Now, how you convert those data? You need somebody doing a data entry. And, if your solution starts giving a value to the organization, then the plant head will get a data operator and data entry person to sit and do the data entry. But somewhere there has to be some, foot down to be done. I think program manager are meant to be, making people do it. So somewhere those governance and the audit processes had to set up correctly. And it's difficult. You need a top-down approach for that majorly. But while you get a sign-off from top-down approach, the impact should be also clearly mentioned, that why it is important. Because if you're analyzing a data, then you are giving an outcome, and that outcome is helping the top line or bottom line or somewhere or the other, somewhere it is tying. If that is done, then I think your leadership will help you to put that foot down, that after this point you need to convert and give me those data. In fact, there are some, nowadays there are some small startups who are actually trying to give you those converted data in one platform. We are utilizing some of those. I can help you around here if you want to interact on that. That can be done. But yeah, those strict governance is required.
Hey, Sanchari, this is Sonam from Altair.
Hey, hi.
Looks great. Yeah, so very insightful presentation. I have a question. So last year we did a survey for almost 2,000 plus executives. And what we got to know only 50 or 60 percentage of your overall ML models are, they are successful. So what do you feel, or whatever work you have done so far, what are the key or what are the frictions that are hampering that success rate?
Okay. Actually, good question. Frictions. Okay, we have 3-level frictions actually. First level of friction where in plants, since we mostly approach the B2B and plant side, where plant people will think that you people are doing useless jobs, so don't come to plant and disturb us. So this is one major friction. Second, if the plant head is also not sold with your idea, then the plant head will ensure that you will don't enter the plant. And then you definitely can't enter the plant, by the way. The third one, if the business leader, which is not the CDO actually, who is be the CMO, Chief Manufacturing Officer, or someone around the CEO, if they are also not convinced, then definitely you are not, they will not help you around for the solution. Maybe for a mandate, you can just interact for 1 or 2 sessions and it's gone. So what we started doing as a process is that whenever someone interacting with us or we feel that, okay, we have a solution, for example, we have an optimization solution and we have successfully done that in a plant, pulp and fiber plant. We will set up a session. Actually, we set up not one, we set up at least 5 to 6 sessions where we talk about that what happened in day 1. When we interacted with the CMO of that business, what CMO said, what was their current process, what was their hindrances, how they started helping us. We actually do a storytelling session, which we call it out problem definition framework. When we start telling them that what problems we have interacted with someone else, here you can talk about your other customer, then they will come up saying that yes, we do have the same problem in life. And then you can tell them and you can actually help them believe that they have overcome it. This is the amount of ROI they are getting once this solution is implemented. You can start doing it. So that is why we said that in that project platform space that we start with a very small POC for a very small team or for a very small plant, very small cohort. When that solution is yielding a result, when that solution is getting sold within that stakeholder, then only we start talking about scale up. Because if day 1 you take a solution, like that, it's again my perspective, that in day 1 if you say that you are doing a digital transformation and this is your XXX this 000 budget, then the CFO will say I don't have a budget, I have a very ready-made thing running, I don't want to introduce you in my plant. So I think breaking into small pieces helps, storytelling about the situation and problem helps. And also, if possible, if they can interact with your other customers, listening to it, that what difficulties they have faced and how you all actually help 24/7 to get those things done. That helps.
Yeah, we'll have the mic sent to the front. We just have 2 minutes.
Yes. So I wanted to share one of the challenges that we face here is our plants are all over the world. So while we have a central team who's responsible for master data, there is a lot of push on, oh no, I want to control my data because of time zone difference. What if I need it urgently? Or the central master data team would not be able to understand due to language difference or all of these. And then we're really struggling to bring all of that to a central master data team. Also understanding they have some point as well in terms of what. So have you faced this and how do you?
Yeah, actually I can feel you because I joined Birla Carbon. They have plants in Australia, Thailand, Canada, US, Spain, Russia, India. So when we talk about a sustainability initiative and we want all these sustainability officers, no common time. They will be like, dude, I can't be coming at 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m., anything. So what we did actually, we did it in 2 ways. One, we have set up a forum with our CXOs, saying that we will have, in a year, we will meet somewhere in a centralized location. And sometime, you know, people try to go to US, or we can do it in teams also. In fact, mostly we do it in teams, but we will have a forum. That day, if someone, you know, getting a 12 o'clock meeting setup done, pardon. And sometime, you know, in Indian time also, we do set up at 11 p.m. call, because we say that, see, we are also not, you know, getting all the benefits. This is one forum. We do it quarterly, not yearly actually, we do it quarterly. Second, we have created many softer forums, you know. We have created a ERG women's team. We have created an ERG diversity team. We have created ESG volunteers. So those are WhatsApp groups, those are Teams channel, where we keep posting, you know. And then someone from, you know, Russia, someday back, she said that, see, this problem which I am facing in Russia, you know, with that weather and everything, we are unable to follow all the government norms. How we actually take this sustainability, the UK overall sustainability, you know, commandments, you know, into picture, and how we work on it. Then one of our solution guys said that, see, I have a solution, can we connect? So creating those forums, and then when people start posting questions, or when they feel that, okay, if someone can help me around, there are people who will take your question and then start giving you a real help. Those softer channels are easier to manage. Else, you know, formal meetings are very difficult with the time zones. And I do, you know, agree to that, you know, why I will take a 12 o'clock night call. You know, we all have a family. So, but yeah, if I have a problem in plant, then I am awake at 12. So I'll get everyone at 12 to solve my problem. So the software channels can help you around. That is one, you know, we have done it in Birla Carbon per se.
Thank you.
I think we are time's up, but I'm around. So anyone, you know, wanted to interact, all are welcome. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.